In this week's Jaunts with John T, we visit Las Vegas, Nevada, and have fun doing things that are not casinos, shows, or hotels, and yet are quintessentially Las Vegas.
Howdy, 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 and welcome to Jaunts with John T. I am John T, and I am coming to you now from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Viva Las Vegas. Dun, 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 dun. Now wait, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, John T, that's not Vegas. Where are the lights? Where are the casinos? Where are the Elvises? Well, to that I say, wrong-o. Right now, as I'm speaking, I am standing within the city limits of Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, we'll be coming back to here a little bit later, but first, we're going to visit a few other attractions in Las Vegas that are not casinos, and are not shows, and are not gambling, and are not hotels, but still are quintessentially Las Vegas. So, stick around as we go on this jaunt. Our first stop is here, the Neon Museum, also known as the Neon Boneyard. It is, it's not far out of the downtown Las Vegas area. Basically what it is they have old neon signs from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, I guess from the 70s as well. And they gathered them all together here in the Neon Boneyard and put them on display. It's a fantastic, wonderful, nostalgic trip, and definitely something that you should make it your business to visit when you're in Vegas to do something a little bit out of the ordinary. Now, one of the first things that you will notice when you come to the Neon Museum is this wonderful facade, sort of mid-century facade that they have, where they have their ticket office and their gift store and that sort of thing. And this was actually the main entrance to a motel called the La Concha La Concha Motel. And they took the facade and they tore it down and they moved it over here. And it is now the entrance to the Neon Museum.
If you can, try to make your visit to the Neon Museum at dusk. That way you will still be able to see the signs that are not lit up, while enjoying those that are all lit up in their bright neon glory.
Well, our next stop is going to be at this rather unassuming looking warehouse, which is the location of the Liberace Garage and the Hollywood Cars Museum. Now you may ask, who was Liberace? Well, I'll tell you. Liberace was an entertainer and a concert pianist. In particular during the 60s and then really on, and especially on into the 70s, he would become a household name both as an entertainer who would go on to television shows, etc., and he would thrill people with his ability to play the piano, and also he would sometimes scandalize people a little bit with his somewhat risque humor, full of double entendres. Ultimately, he ended up in Las Vegas, where he had a Las Vegas show that was played here for many years, certainly throughout the 70s. And his shows became more and more elaborate. He would wear more and more elaborate costumes and encrusted with rhinestones. And really importantly, he would often come onto stage in these elaborately decorated cars. You see, he was also a car collector. And that is what brings us here, to the Liberace Garage. This Stars and Stripes Edition Rolls Royce was used by Liberace for his performances in 1976, and he would play the Stars and Stripes forever while wearing this red jumpsuit. During the 1970s gas crisis, Liberace would instead come on stage in this little Volkswagen, which was obviously more economical in terms of the gasoline he used. And here we have the pièce de résistance, a 1961 Rolls Royce that Liberace would use hundreds of times to drive on stage. He would have been chauffeured by a gentleman whose name I don't remember, but he was Liberace's chauffeur, and he was also Liberace's adopted son. It's an interesting story unto itself, and one that is told in a very good TV movie that was made about Liberace, starring Michael Douglas. So the Liberace Museum, or the Liberace Garage, I should say, is at the back of the Hollywood Car Museum here in Las Vegas. So it's a separate set of displays at the back of the museum. The Dragula. Used in the Munsters, if I remember correctly. The Batmobile from the TV series. Still one of the most iconic custom cars ever made. This is actually a promotional replica. I assumed it wasn't the original. Here is a vehicle from Death Race 2000, which holds personal interest to me because, well, my ex-wife's stepfather was in Death Race 2000. I believe he was the first person killed in the movie. He played the priest who sort of blessed the proceedings. A replica of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It is indeed a fine four-fendered friend. Well, as promised, we are back where we started. And where we started was Red Rock Canyon National Park in Las Vegas, Nevada. As you can see, the views here are spectacular. And this is someplace that is about as far away, or I should say, feels about as far away from the lights, the casinos, and the hotels as you could possibly get. But in reality, it's about a 20-minute drive from the Las Vegas Strip.
Now your GPS will tell you that Red Rock Canyon is only about a half a mile away, yet you're still in the middle of Las Vegas suburban sprawl. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, you're in the desert. And before you know it, you're at Red Rock Canyon.
Now, one of the great things about Red Rock Canyon is that you don't have to leave your car. There is a loop drive that goes all the way through the canyon, and the views from the drive actually are spectacular. So if somebody in your party has mobility issues or something like this, it's still a terrific place to visit because there's a lot that you can see from the comfort of your own car, and it's truly spectacular. That said, if you want to, if you can and want to, there are also a lot of trails that you can take as well, where you can go a little bit further into the canyon and see even more. One thing you want to be aware of when visiting Red Rock Canyon is that you are in the desert and it can get very hot. The sun gets very bright and it's very dry. If you're going to be walking for any distance, you want to be sure to bring water with you. Better safe than sorry. If you have a National Parks Pass, then the entry into Red Rock Canyon is free. Otherwise, it's $20. Or if you are a senior, like I am, you can actually purchase a National Park Pass, a yearly National Parks Pass for that same $20. So it's the same fee whether you're paying just to visit for the day or if you're getting the National Parks Pass. So if you are a senior, you might as well get the National Parks Pass. Also, there is a visitor center, and it's good to note that if you want to visit the visitor center, you really should do so on your way in, not on your way out, because the exit from the scenic loop is actually a couple of miles away from the visitor center. And not only that, you have to go through the the entrance where you pay to get into the park again. Obviously, if you have a National Parks Pass, that doesn't really matter. Or presumably, if you have your receipt from when you came in earlier, you could probably use that and not have to pay again. But it definitely would be more convenient to come to the visitor center before you enter the scenic loop, because it's right at the beginning of where the scenic loop is. All right, well, that is going to do it for this week's edition of Jaunts with John T. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to hit that like button, as it really does help us out. Also, leave us a comment if you'd like to see more videos like this of places sort of off the beaten track in Las Vegas. Or if you are familiar with some place like that yourself, please leave me a comment below. Now, here at Jaunts with John T, we go on jaunts around the world, around the country, around the state, around the city, or sometimes just around the house. And if that sounds like fun to you, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that way you'll be notified of future videos. Well, that's going to do it for this week. I am John T, and until I can figure out a better sign-off, thanks for watching.